Question Time from the Edo diaspora, reaching out to all Edos across the diaspora, Italy, Belgium, Ireland, and the USA, hosted by yours truly, Lace My Man. Welcome to Question Time from the Edo diaspora. Wherever you are in the diaspora, we'll bring it to you on Question Time. We have a common interest, so it's time for that conversation.
So as you find yourself in a passenger, need someone like a passenger, treat them all like a passenger. No, we say you're a passenger, so find yourself in a passenger, treat someone like a passenger, treat them all like a passenger. No, we say you're a
If you're thinking of visiting, working, or investing in Nigeria, our next guest is here to smoothen your transition. I'm Lace My Man, and welcome to Question Time from the Nigerian diaspora. Miss Aisha Maina.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Miss Maina, your company, Aquarian Consult, helps facilitate the Nigerian dream. Visa procurement, searching for jobs, and protecting investment. In the general media, I'm talking about everywhere, Nigeria looks a real hazardous place to do these things. Is that the case?
Well, everywhere you go is hazardous. It just depends on what the hazards are, which is why we're there.
Yeah.
Now, we're not saying that we're going to give you the passport and we're going to give you the visa or carry out all our services and ultimately eliminate all the hazards. I mean, if you're coming to London from Nigeria, you're thinking, oh, am I going to get stabbed? If you're going to the US
Yes.
from Nigeria, you're thinking, oh, am I going to get shot by police?
Yeah.
Now, these are hazards, but it doesn't mean that the US is insecure as a whole or the US is hazardous. It doesn't mean that London is completely insecure or hazardous. There's crime everywhere.
Yeah.
Same as there's crime in Nigeria. So what we do is we support our clients and our customers to make the right decision when they're going to Nigeria. So the process of we facilitate for them to get their passports if they're Nigerian and they don't have a Nigerian passport, or if they want to renew their passports. We facilitate the people who want to get Nigerian visas. So we support them in putting documentation together. We're not the collection center,
Yeah.
and we do not issue visas or passports. We just support our customers and clients to ensure that the process is as simple as possible.
You make the life easy for people who have Nigerian interests,
Yes.
not just Nigerians. And the hazards in Nigeria, quite rightly as you've said, there's news everywhere about the stabbings in London, the Black Lives Matter movement in the US. The hazards in Nigeria, where would you rate the hazards in Nigeria in this?
I think I would rate them the same as I would rate anywhere else in the world.
Okay.
I mean, I've been to Paris and I've been worried about getting attacked by racists.
Yeah.
That's because of what I've read in
What's
the news.
been
But
going
I've been
on.
to Paris and I've been on the Champs-Élysées and nothing has happened. I've been to villages outside Paris where I would expect to get attacked by racists and nothing happened. If anything, they're very friendly. So I would rate the hazards in Nigeria just like anywhere else in the world. However, I'm not going to go to Paris and go to the hotspots.
Yeah.
Every city, every country has hotspots. Every single one. Now, anybody who comes to Nigeria and judges Nigeria by its hotspots is making a big mistake, because I may as well judge wherever they're coming from based on their hotspots.
There's still huge demand for entry and exit into Nigeria, visible when you go to the Nigerian the embassy, the consulate. There's people queuing from 7 a.m. in the morning. There's people crying when the embassy is about to close. Your service, is it about to make sure there is less queue, there's less stress for the client, or how does your service work?
Our service basically is to ensure that it's as convenient a process as possible for our customers and clients. For the visa process, for example, when we get all your documentation, we can submit it on your behalf. So you don't even have to go to the embassy, except you need to go in for an interview.
Yeah.
For the passport process, what we basically do is help you with all the documentation as well. And we try to get there early enough and stand in queue for you, because it's on a first come, first serve basis. Now we stand in queue for you so that by the time you can conveniently get there, you're already on the queue, so to speak. Now, because we do not issue the visas and we do not issue the passports, the best we can do is reduce your waiting time, advise you on the kind of documents that you would require, give you the list, because we've had people who don't even know the list of documents that are required either for the visa or the passport, and in what format those documents are supposed to come in. So we do all of that for you, and we facilitate everything up until where it's out of our hands and it's up to the Nigerian Embassy. So we can basically send you a questionnaire and you give us all the information that we require, and we fill the form for you. That's to say, if you're not physically in our office, or you can come down physically to our offices and we would, at the same time as you're there, fill the forms for you. Or you can fill the forms out and send it to us, and we'll do all the payments and everything that is required.
Let's talk about how this service came about. Was it you? Was it a family member? Was it an employee trying to get to Nigeria, and you saw the pains they were going through to just do something that should be normal?
Well, it wasn't me personally. It wasn't an employee, but I have seen people, Nigerians and non-Nigerians, who have tried to get visas and how frustrated they get. And also the passports, to get a passport, either renewed or issued, is a long process. It can be quite a frustrating process. I've been through it. I mean, I guess because mentally I was prepared to wait as long as it took. It wasn't as frustrating for me.
Yeah.
However, just because I got there and someone had to say, okay, you do this, then you do that, and this is what the process is. I'm like, oh, but why didn't you guys just tell me what the process is? Why do I need to find out what the process is here? That's the gap that we aim to fill. So you know exactly what the process is. You know that you get to the embassy at this time. You know that you queue, and you know that it can take you 3 hours or 4 hours or 5 hours. You know, now when you have all that information, you're better prepared for getting a passport or getting a visa.
You know what to expect when you go there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I have seen people go through this. I have been through it. Not as frustrating for me as I've seen a lot of people get frustrated. But I guess that's also because I was just prepared to wait already.
Let's talk about the Nigerian Embassy for a minute. They know about these glitches, you know, and one of the only solutions is a company like yours. Are they on the same side with you to say, we need you to come in to give us efficiency?
Well, the thing is, it's not really about the embassy. The embassy is doing the best that it can do. It's a process. Even if you go to the British Embassy in Nigeria, it's the same thing. You wait hours. You have to go through the entire process. If you go to the US Embassy, it's the same thing. So I wouldn't say that it's up to the Nigerian Embassy to do anything about it, because they've done the best they can. You can go online, you can fill out your forms, you can get an interview date, you can follow the entire process. It is up to people like me to look at the entire process and try to make it easier for the people who want to get passports or visas. And hence our business was born.
That place is crying out for people like you. You know, every time I go there, either babies are crying, parents are crying, you understand?
We've got relocation services, so if you want to move to Nigeria, we handhold you from the moment you think about it till you're settled in Nigeria. So that means that from when you want your passports or your visas to when you get to either Lagos or Abuja, wherever you want to go to, if you're completely relocating, we can find you an apartment or a house. We can find you cars. It's just basically what you need that we would support you in achieving. We offer business advisory services. There are lots of people in the UK who want to invest in Nigeria or who want to start businesses in Nigeria. So people relocate for different reasons. People want a job, or people want a business, or people want to just invest.
Tell me, is there an overflow of multinationals in Nigeria that I can pick from?
Well, I wouldn't say there's an overflow of multinationals. What I can say is there's an overflow of businesses. So they may not be multinationals, but there are tons and tons of businesses. Now, personally, I advise people that rather than work in a multinational, if you're young, if you're between the ages of maybe 22 and 35.
Thank you very much.
And you want to work, because when you work for a multinational, it's also a good thing, but you get plugged into an entire system. So, for example, if you're hired as an accountant for accounts receivables, all you do for the next 10 years is accounts receivables. So you are a professional specialist accounts receivables. However, when you retire or you want a different job, all you can do is accounts receivables.
Yeah.
Now, multinationals are huge. There aren't that many companies who need just one person for accounts receivables.
True.
So you end up having 10 working years, 15 working years experience, but you're not exactly employable anymore.
Yeah.
And then you're out in the pool.
So you recommend the first thing to do is to broaden your search.
Broaden your search.
Question time from the Edo diaspora, reaching out to all Edos across the diaspora.
Question Time has teamed up with Edo Connect to bring you a regular news summary from Edo State and Edos in diaspora. On Edo Connect, we got fashion blogger Emil Saboye. We got Monique Agbe live from Edo State with the mood on ground. Why not get your voice heard by recording a video message on your phone and sending it to Edo Connect?
When you're looking for a solicitor to deal with your case, you don't just look for any solicitor, you look for the right solicitor. An expert who knows what he's doing can deal with your case the right way, achieving the best results. Hobaski Solicitors has more than 100 years of specialist experience serving the local community in immigration law, property law, human rights legislation, civil and criminal litigation, family law, employment law, Sharia law, business law, maritime and commercial law, providing professional legal services globally in Africa, Asia and Europe. Be assured we'll be able to deal with your case the absolute right way with results. So, contact us today by phone on 020-7739-7549 or go online at www.legalpal.com.
In terms of international employment, I'm looking at Nigeria and I want to come in. Which industries are consistently looking for international experience?
Well, almost every industry in Nigeria is consistently looking for international experience. It's more they're looking for expertise than really about international experience. It's really about the package. What does the person bring on the table? What is the expertise like? What is the interpersonal skills like? What is the person's work ethics like? That's what, consistently and continuously, almost every business in all the industries keep looking for good people. So it's not really about whether it's international experience. Is the person a good person? Is the person a good fit? Of course, for certain organizations and certain businesses, if you have the international experience, but it needs to be cogent international experience. It cannot just be, I lived in London. That's not international experience,
So there is competition for international.
Oh yes, most definitely. There are people in Nigeria who are as qualified or even more qualified than people who live in London who want the same positions. So just because you lived in London doesn't mean you're more qualified than the person who's been living in Nigeria. It's really more about the technical skills and the soft skills. Aquarian Consult has been running for 8 years. Our main office is in Nigeria, in Abuja, but we have offices in Lagos, in Dubai, and now we have offices in London. Now, for 8 years, we have been business development consultants, and we have found the right fit for our clients. We're not a recruitment agency, We just find the right fit for our clients.
When you say the right fit, break it down for us.
So basically, no two companies are the same.
This is true.
They may be in the same industry, they may be in the same sector, but they're not the same.
Mm-hmm.
Whilst they may require the same positions and require the same technical skills, they may not require the same soft skills.
True.
They may not require the same experiences, life experiences. They may not require the same outlook for each candidate.
What is the process currently? Like, me and my friends want to work in Nigeria. The way we hear people get jobs in Nigeria, it's as if there's no straightforward process to say, I pick up this company and...
Oh, there is a straightforward process.
Right now, what is the process?
Well, for us, when we have job vacancies, we advertise the job vacancies. And when we advertise job vacancies, we have people applying from all over the world, really. And we screen them. You know, like I said, the first step is the technical skills. And then there are interviews, and then the psychometric tests, and then there are all those things. And by the time we have a short list of people, we then present that short list to the client.
We have the website underneath the screen, because this is the hotline. You know, I wish I could stop this interview and go and put my CV on the website, come back and finish it.
So basically, what we're doing now is we're creating a database of people in the UK. And what would happen is when these positions come up, you will get screened, you know, so that you have the opportunity to work in those places. So for you to get on that database means that you want to work in Nigeria. There are positions, because there are businesses still surviving. As we speak, we have a client who requires fresh engineers. They're willing to take people who have no work experience, chemical engineers, electrical engineers, mechanical engineers, fresh out of school, and they will train them. So yes, the oil price has crashed. Yes, the economy is much tighter, but we have positions like that.
Is there any benefit in the crash in terms of other industries within Nigeria?
Well, I won't call it a benefit. I would just say, you know, as a nation, we're growing. And because of where we are now, and because of the crash in oil prices, it's forcing other sectors and other industries to open up. The agricultural sector is really opening up now. At least I know a few more people who are more interested in farming now than in trying to sell petrol or diesel. You know? And so far, the couple of people that I know who have actually thrown their weight behind the farms, and they're not necessarily very huge farms, you know, but they've started farming, are actually quite happy with the fact that they've started farming. So the agricultural value chain is greatly improving, and there are more and more and more people that are plugging themselves into the agricultural value chain. As a nation, we're beginning to look at our mining policy.
Okay.
And just the fact that we're looking at our mining policy has ensured that the entire mining value chain is now being looked at and is generating interest. And a lot of people now want to go into mining. Right. And there's so many other sectors and industries like that. So yes, they're tough times, but I wouldn't say that everything has come to a complete stop.
Good information. So you would recommend now your business moves with the trends. You know, oil prices crashing, mining and agricultural sectors is picking up.
Yeah.
And you advise your.
Actually, my advice is, if anybody in the UK wants to invest, now is the time to invest.
You were putting international people, you know, Nigerians and maybe Africans that have had international experience from living here, not just professional experience. I'm talking about personal life, a whole lot of changes. Do you find a problem with the attitude? You know, for us, we're a bit chilled out now to say, hey, we want to work in Nigeria. We apply the same way we find work in England to the same way we want to find work in Nigeria.
I do find that there are no issues, because there are tons and tons of people who come back. Not everybody, of course, there are the exceptions, who come back to Nigeria and feel just because I've lived in Nigeria, I mean in the UK, I'm better than all the people who have been here, and so therefore I'm more qualified just because I lived in the UK.
Yeah, not so bad, huh? No, but that's
What's
not
so special about living in the UK?
That's not a strong point. But
It's not a strong point, especially when you're talking about professionalism.
Mm-hmm.
Has nothing to do with anything. Where you've lived has nothing to do with your professionalism, because you could have lived in London and actually not had a professional job.
What percentage of the clients you get display this attitude?
A large percentage of our applicants display that attitude, and we've had to advise them to review their expectations. Now, a lot of people come back thinking, I've worked in the UK, I've lived in the UK, so even though I have maybe just 2-3 years working experience, I should get paid 600,000 naira, where the person who's been living in Nigeria gets paid 200,000 naira, and it's just because I've lived in the UK and I've worked in the UK. It doesn't work like that.
So our expectation is I tell you what our expectation is, so you can correct me. If you called me to say, hey Lace, there's a job in Nigeria I think you'd be interested in, I would expect you correct me. Flight, accommodation, transportation, and maybe in some hazardous areas I might need security. Is that correct?
You have to be, well, from my experience personally, in the 8 years of running this company, you have to be in the senior managerial position with 10-15 years working experience, and you come with such value that the company is willing to spend all of that. But if you're coming in at entry level or 5 years working experience, there has to be something spectacular about you for them to pay relocation fees, because most of the qualities that you have, most of the technical skills that you have, there are 50 Nigerians in Nigeria that do not require relocation fees that have them. Some even have more qualifications than you do. So you must be coming with something spectacular.
So without me being normal, I would have to buy my own ticket.
Yes.
With me being normal, I would have to pay for my own accommodation.
Most definitely.
You're the recruiter. Do you find out that once people in the diaspora get accustomed to these expenses, do they pull back?
Well, I find that people who really want to move back, and that is not really a critical factor for them, because they already want to move back anyways.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've been talking with Ms. Aisha Maina, and I've been just as intrigued, so I will class myself a distraction. I'm going to leave you now with the CEO to explain to you why Aquarian Consult is a necessity in the Nigerian planning lifestyle.
Aquarian Consult is here to solve most of your problems. We're here to make sure that you don't have to wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning just to go and queue in front of the embassy. We're here to make sure that you don't miss any family engagements, no funerals missed, no weddings missed, no birthdays missed. And we're here to make everything as convenient as possible. So from the moment you pick up the phone or you go to our website and you indicate your interest to you getting your passports or your visas, we're here to ensure that we take away as much stress as possible. While we're not guaranteeing that you will definitely get your visa, we're not the Nigerian Embassy. What we can guarantee you is that we will take away the stress that goes with either applying for a visa or getting a new passport or a renewed passport. That's what we're here to do. So if you go to uk.aquarianconsult.com or call us, there will always be somebody there to pick up the phone, and there will always be someone to respond to your queries. Or you can visit us at our offices, which is 105 Piccadilly, anytime between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m.
Miss Aisha Maina, it's been a pleasure to have you on Question Time.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. Niger for life.
Question Time, reaching out to all Edos across the diaspora.
So as you find yourself in a passenger, need someone